Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday. It's the 28th day of November 2022. I hope that you had a good weekend. Happy Monday. I hope you're healthy and safe and your family is also healthy and safe this morning. And that the needs of you and your family in terms of food and shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are risking their lives to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and highways and parks clean. And those also that make deliveries of important things like food and water and mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and the children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of pornography and child pornography. The victims also of prostitution and child prostitution. The victims of human trafficking and sex slavery, and double curses upon the perpetrators, upon the profiteers, and upon the perverts that are out here trafficking in human misery. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, in the streets of the United States, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game yesterday. The Memphis Grizzlies came to Madison Square Garden to take on our New York Knicks. The New York Knicks lost this game 127 to 123. It was a tough game. The Knicks had a tough weekend. Friday night, as we know, they lost to Portland. And the reason they lost to Portland mostly was that they got 23 less foul shots than the Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers took 51 foul shots. The Knicks took 28. I still can't get over that. I cannot believe that a referee game in the league, NBA, is going to be that kind of discrepancy on the foul shoots. But anyway, they lost the game yesterday to Memphis. A close game, a tough game. Not much you can say. I mean, we can nitpick. I wished, I would have liked to have seen more Jericho Sims and less Isaiah Hartenstein yesterday. But is what it is. Thibodeau likes to stick. Thing you have to understand about Tom Thibodeau, and this is the thing that I try to do, and I suggest some of you might try to do to alleviate some of your frustration. I get frustrated with Thibodeau also, just like you do, but I try to understand his MO. What is the rationale? Without trying to be critical, without talking about what his offense does or doesn't do, as if we're all coaches. But what I try to do is look at what is he trying to do? What is his rationale? What is he trying to accomplish? You may not always agree with what he does, but if you can understand what he's trying to do, you kind of understand the man a little bit more and understand the scheme a little bit more. Thibodeau is really into units. That means he's looking for a unit of 5 to 9 people, players, and he's looking to mix and match them in the way that he feels optimizes the chance of winning. And that's the thing about him. He's always looking to win. So in his mind, he's looking at Isaiah Hartenstein as a fit with the second unit better at this stage than Jericho Sims. Not that Hartenstein's a better basketball player than Jericho Sims, you understand, but that he was brought on, Hartenstein is, as the backup to Mitchell Robinson. And from the summer, the scheme has been Hartenstein in the second unit. So now you have that. And so he's going to try to work through it until it becomes very apparent over a longer term, over a 20 game, say, stretch, that Sims is better in that. He looks at the practices, he looks at the games, and over time he makes these decisions. So he tries to stay with a unit that works best. At the end, he picks a unit, and if that unit is making a comeback like the unit did yesterday in the fourth quarter with the starting unit, that should be the starting unit, he sticks with him. Okay, some people would say, well, he should have put Quentin Grimes in. No, he shouldn't. He sticks with the unit that was working, that brought back the 10-point deficit and was closing the game. That's what he does. And so this time, last night, he kept Cam Reddish in the fourth quarter, and I believe Cam Reddish should be the starter. Now, he was the starter before he pulled his groin and missed, I think he missed 3 games or 4 games, and now Quentin Grimes has been the starter. And this is no knock on Quentin Grimes. I want to make sure we understand. I'm not trying to hate on Quentin Grimes. Some of y'all can't have the balance to differentiate, but I like Quentin Grimes. I wanted the Knicks to draft Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes, to me, is the glue guy. He's a glue guy that every championship team needs. Okay, he's that glue guy. So he's going to hit the open shot usually. He hasn't been doing it lately, but he's just coming still back, getting his rhythm. But he'll hit the open jump shot. He's a tremendous foul shooter. He's a tremendous perimeter defender. He's way better of a playmaker than most people realize. If you just label Quentin Grimes as a 3-and-D guy, then you don't know Quentin Grimes. He can do a lot with the basketball. And so, but he doesn't demand the ball. He runs off the ball extremely, extremely well. So he's that glue guy that you need. If you want to win a chip, you're going to need guys like Quentin Grimes, in your starting unit or at least in your rotation. So why am I saying I want Cam Reddish above a guy like that? Cam Reddish to me is a guy that has potential to be an all-star. And that's the difference. That's why. It's nothing against Quentin Grimes. And I'm saying at this stage of the development of the New York Knicks as a team, we're not expecting to win a championship. We're not expecting to even challenge for the Eastern Conference Finals this year. So I would like them to find out what we have in guys like a Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is in a contract year. So you want to find out now before you shell out 80, 60, 80, 100 million for Cam Reddish. You got to find out what you have here. And so if he's as good as I think he could be, it's worth finding out. Okay. So I'm not saying Quentin Grimes will never be an all-star, but I'm saying as far as talent right now, there's nobody on the Knicks as talented as Cam Reddish, in my opinion. So because of that, I want him out there as much as I can get him out there. And he's 6'8", and he also is a tremendous defender. Thank you, Tom Thibodeau. He brought Cam Reddish here, and Cam Reddish has turned into a high-level defender, good enough to guard all of the best players in the NBA, like he was trying to guard Ja yesterday. So was Quentin Grimes. But you can put Cam Reddish on the point guard, the 2 guard, the 3. You can put Cam Reddish on a 4. He could even guard some 5s. Cam Reddish could guard all 5 positions. Not only that, Cam Reddish is a slasher. He runs without the basketball extremely well. Cam Reddish has a nice jump shot as well. He just needs more time to get his rhythm. So we're talking about a very high level talent right here to me. And I want to see what he has in his contract year. That's all I'm saying. And so that way, I'd like to see him start, going forward. Yesterday, he finished the game. And he played 4. He was shot 4 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3-point line, 2 of 2 from the line. He was +4. He scored 11 points. He had a steal, 2 assists. And Grimes also played good. He just didn't shoot as well, but I'm not blaming Grimes for that. I'm just saying he still is finding his rhythm because remember, he missed all of training camp. He missed a lot of the games at the beginning of the season with the foot issue. And so now that his foot is healed, he's trying to get his rhythm back. And I feel like he'll get it back in time. And so he was 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. He was -9 and he scored 5 points. And that doesn't really indicative of what he was guarding Ja Morant, so that's going to be a difficult situation regardless. And speaking of Ja Morant, what we saw yesterday, and again, I'm not trying to knock Jalen Brunson. I am not. But I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. The Knicks do not have a big 3. They're not a team that has that guy that can just carry you across the finish line. They could win some games with 1 guy, 2 guys, but you're talking about a superstar. They don't have that. There's no LeBron James, James Wade, D Wade on this team. So therefore, this team has to win as a team. It's important that everybody gets involved. And Ja Morant yesterday, if you paid attention yesterday to the game, this is what we saw. In the first half, Ja Morant was allowing all of his teammates to get involved. He wasn't forcing anything. It's almost like he almost didn't want to shoot. He was really not forcing the issue. And I'm not saying Quentin Grimes didn't do a good job on him. He did. But I'm telling you, he wasn't trying to score a lot. He was getting all of his teammates involved. If you look at them, all 5 starters were double figures. And you had 3 of them, Morant, Brooks, and Jackson Jr. with over 20 points. That's because he was distributing the basketball. He was doing what I call the old Oscar Robertson thing. Oscar, the big O, used to do that. He passed the ball to everybody in the first half because he knew he was going to play 40 minutes a game, 48 minutes a game. So he passed the ball to everybody in the first half and gets everybody involved. And then second half, he would take over the game. And he'd do that very consistently, Oscar Robertson. And I saw that with Morant yesterday. I'm not saying Quentin Grimes didn't do a good job on him. He did. But Morant wasn't forcing it. He was allowing the game to come to him. And I think he had 9 assists in the first half. That's indicative. So then the third quarter comes and he starts to get aggressive. Okay? It didn't matter who was guarding. And this is the thing. It came down to me to 2 segments of the game. The Knicks, I don't know, it was going back and forth, 1 point, 2 points, 3 point, 4 point, in the third and in the fourth quarter. So the Grizzlies needed a basket. And everybody on earth knew John Morant was going to shoot that basketball. There was no doubt about it, okay? Including the Knicks. He comes down and he scores. And see, what am I saying there? Well, look, you got to double him, do whatever you can to get the ball out of his hand, right? I'm not saying the Knicks made a mistake, but what I'm saying is you're dealing with a superstar. That's a superstar. You know he's going to get the ball. You know he's going to shoot it, and you can't do anything about it. That's superstar. All you can do is hope he missed. And then that one particular play, the Knicks caused him to take a bad shot. Did a 360. Mitch Rob blocked it. And then Morant kept coming after the ball. Got it. His own rebound and scored. Okay. On the other side, Brunson is going to shoot the ball. Everybody knows that. So they shade toward him. They got the guy on him. They got another guy shading toward him. He tries to shoot anyway. Now, he has tremendous footwork, and he got 2 good shots off, but he should have got somebody else involved. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't knock him. You know he's going to try to do that, but I'm saying he's not that dude. He's not Ja, okay? And there's no shame in that. When he was out on the floor at the end of the game, you had Brunson, you had Randall, you had Barrett, you had Cam out on the floor. You had a bunch of options out there. Now, I'm not suggesting he should have tossed it over to Randall for one of his jacked up threes. No, but he could have gotten the paint. He could have caught Cam. He could have caught Barrett. Barrett was bully balling whoever was guarding him yesterday. I mean, Barrett had a good game. He was 9 of 17, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 7 boards, 4 assists, 22 points. He was really good yesterday. Now, he was getting done on defense, but so were all of them getting done on defense. And by the way, Randall and Barrett, that's not working, period. It's just not. The 2 lefties, it's not good for each other. They really aren't. And there were too many times yesterday where especially Randall would be leaving somebody wide open. And he does that, every few games. Almost like he's taking the game off defensively. And yesterday, he played 35 minutes. He didn't shoot a lot. He only scored 14 points. He got 10 boards, but he just left guys open that he was supposed to be guarding, especially Jared Jackson Jr. and his cat Aldama. He was letting these guys shoot at will, and they were making the Knicks pay. It was ridiculous. So you can't have that. So I think they're going to have to make a move eventually. See, I look at it like this. You're going to have to move one of 2 of those guys. You're going to have to move either Randall or you're going to have to move RJ Barrett. And if you're looking at it from a general manager perspective, you're looking at it from a scout perspective, you're looking at it from a front office perspective, okay, not a fan. You're going to go with the younger player. You're going to keep the younger guy. That's because why? Because just based on his youth, he technically has more upside that you can deal with. See, so Randall's 27. He's a young guy himself. He's going to be 28. But RJ's 22. Okay. So I'm keeping the younger guy if I'm going to make a trade. And that's why I keep pushing for the Randall trade rather than RJ trade, because Randall is at the top of his game. He is what he is pretty much. I'm not saying he can't get any better, but you're seeing the peak Randall right now. And so to me, they just don't work well together. They don't space the floor well together. They don't complement each other. And together they're bad defensively. So I have seen actually both of them play better defense when the other one is on the bench. See, so Randall plays better defense with the second unit, and RJ definitely plays better defense with the second unit. He definitely plays better than the second unit. So, and that's not saying they should be second unit guys. That's saying they don't play well together. And then when you have Brunson, who's not, I mean, Brunson is trying. I'm not saying he definitely is 100% effort, both sides of the ball, 48 minutes, but he's weak defensively and he gets done on the defensive end a lot. Okay. He's not that guy. That's why you need a Cam next to him. 6'8" with 7 foot wingspan. That's going to help cover up that deficiency. But you can't have a weak defender in Brunson, a weak defender in RJ, and a weak defender in Randall. It's just not going to work. That's why they're giving up 120-something points a game. And I think Thibodeau knows that. But there's nothing he could do right now but hope the unit gets better as a unit. That's all he could really do. To me, again, that's why I want Cam Reddish out there with them. Okay, so with Cam and Mitchell Robinson, and I'd like to see minutes like we saw yesterday with Mitchell Robinson, Cam, and Grimes. I'd like to see that, more if possible. But yeah, it was just a tough loss. And the thing is about the Knicks overall for this weekend, I want to say one more thing is this here. There were people suggesting that the Knicks have given up on Tom Thibodeau. Can we now see that that's bullcrap? It's pure pile of cow dung. Nobody's giving up on Tom Thibodeau. Those cats were playing their butt off this weekend. Okay? They were trying their best to win. Nobody's giving up on Tom Thibodeau. The team hasn't quit on him. So some of y'all that had that in your mind, you could please walk with that. No. They were playing their tail off. And to me, why is that important? Well, for the obvious reason, you don't want no player giving up on your coach and your team's going to sink right there. But that's not what they're doing. But number two, if they keep giving maximum effort like that, even though they may not be playing the right way to win all the time, they're going to get better over time. You can't give maximum effort on a consistent basis and pay attention to detail like they do and not get better. They're going to get better. You see, that's why I'm not worried about it right now. Again, I'm not looking for them to hit the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Neither am I looking for them to win 37 games either. But I'm looking again for 45 wins. I need them to continue to do what they do. And overall, I'm not worried right now. Some people like to say this is a must-win game. There's no must-win games right now. There's no must-win games. The must-win games come when you're talking about playoffs and playoff positioning. That's when you're talking about must-win games. In November, there's no must-win games. Okay? There's games you want to see them win, obviously, but there's no must-win games. If you're talking about, well, there are 3 games from the 4th seed or 3 games from the 8th seed. Now you're talking must-win games, and you're dealing with final positioning in March or playoff positioning in April. Now you're talking must-win games. Even in February. Now you're talking must-win games. Right now, you're not talking must-win games, okay? Or if you're on a long losing streak and you got to break it, okay, now you're talking a must-win game. The Knicks are not in either of those positions right now, okay? Are they going to go on losing streaks? They're on one now. That happens to every NBA team. It was interesting. After the Knicks lost to Golden State lost by like 35 to some other team. See, because this is the league. You're going to have nights like that. You're going to have good nights and you're going to have horrible nights. You're going to have 2 and 3 game losing streaks. You're going to have 2 and 3 game winning streaks. It happens both ways. Okay. So the Knicks are going to go through all of that as part of the process of development. So I'm thinking they're going to have to move Julius Randle at some point. I'm not sure if it's going to be this season though. I think it depends on how the Knicks are doing overall. If you get into the trade deadline and it looks like the Knicks are in playoff contention with the team they now have, I think they keep the team they now have. If it gets to the trade deadline and it looks like they're in the play-in or not even in playoff contention, they're going to trade Julius Randle. They're definitely going to trade Evan Fournier. That's the foregone conclusion. They're trading Evan Fournier and Julius Randle also. And then they were talking about Emmanuel Quickley, who hurt his knee. Apparently, with just soreness. So maybe he just needs to rest and come back. But as I said, Quickley is a little bit different. It's not like they're trying to get rid of Quickley. Some of y'all still can't get that out your head. I'm not trying to get rid of Quickley. I'm not hating on Quickley. Quickley's a starter level NBA player on a team that he cannot start on. Very simple. He's a starter level NBA player on an NBA team that he will not get the opportunity to be a starter. And he's in his 3rd season and he's looking to be a starter. Okay, so there are NBA teams in the 30-team NBA that will give him that opportunity. And so if you're him, you're going to want that. That's why the Knicks are probably going to trade him. It's not like they want to get rid of him. It's not like they hate him. It's not like they don't want to pay him. He wants to start. Okay? And somebody's going to say, yes, we think you can start. And he's going to go there. Okay? And like I said, I'm looking at 4 teams. I'm looking at the Spurs. I'm looking at the Miami Heat, the Houston Rockets, and of course, I'm also looking at his hometown team, the Washington Wizards. There's other teams that's possible as well. There's a possibility, he could go to a team like Minnesota, because I feel like Quickley has a lot more upside than D'Angelo Russell right now. And I feel like he probably might fit better with Minnesota than D'Angelo Russell. So that's, again, you have other opportunities, right? So that's why he's going to get traded. I don't know if it's going to happen this season. I don't know if it's going to happen in the summer. Somebody's going to offer something. And the Knicks are looking for a number 1, which they should get, because Quickley's a first round pick, and Quickley has outperformed his draft position. He drafted at 25th. To me, he's playing in top 15 level from that draft. So, they should get that from somebody. Okay. Plus maybe a young player. And so we'll see. But that's what's going forward. For now, let's keep grinding. They got Detroit Tuesday in Detroit. Let's see if we can get this W, and move forward. I'd like to see Cam Reddish in the starting lineup. We'll see what Thibodeau does in terms of the units. But I can guarantee you one thing. If Cam Reddish and Quentin Grimes are both healthy, they're both going to get similar to what you saw. Grimes played 26 minutes. Cam played 24 minutes. You're going to get that regardless, okay? Because both of them need to be on the floor. So that's the key there. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. The Knicks are 9-11. I expected them to be 11-9 right now, but hey, it is what it is. So let's move forward and let's see what we could do. Let's keep rooting for our squad. We'll keep hoping for the best. Hopefully, Quickley can rest that knee and come back strong on Tuesday. If not against the Pistons, then against the Bucks at MSG on Wednesday. Got back-to-back this week, and so they might want to rest him and then have him come on the second game with back-to-back. We'll see. But anyway, y'all enjoy your Monday. Shalom.